Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another collection pickup video. I actually had the day off today, so I decided to go visit an Overwheels that I can't go to because of work. And I got there hoping, I would find some really epic finds, and I did pick up one Super Nintendo game, so I thought I was off to a good start. And I went through the whole place, and I was starting to get really disappointed because I didn't find anything else. So I was starting to think that it was a waste of time and everything. And as I was making my way out of the place, thinking it was a done deal, out of the corner of my eye, I see this box of video games. And it was this lady that was selling, old clothes and, random stuff. But I went there, I looked in the box, see the games that she had, and she only had two that I was really, really excited about because there are two games that one game was one that I've been trying to track down for a long time, and the other one just looked interesting. So I asked the lady how much for the games, and she basically said that she wanted to get rid of the whole box. She had a bunch of NES games, a bunch of Super Nintendo games, and one Dreamcast game. And she said she wanted to get rid of it, and if I gave her 70 pesos, I could take everything. And 70 pesos is a little under $6, so I thought, well, there are a lot of games, but I don't want to balloon my collection with games that I'm not interested in, especially sports games, because there's so many sports games. But I decided, what the heck, it's still a good deal, and if I don't like the games, I can just trade them or get rid of them some other way. So I picked up the whole box and decided to make a video out of it. So let's get started, guys. First one in the box was Racket Attack, published by Jaleco. And this is a tennis game. My favorite tennis games are the Mario Tennis games that came out on the NES, the Game Boy Color, and the GameCube. So no tennis game is gonna compare to that. And this one didn't. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's not necessarily good. But it's there. This one was cool because it had the black sleeve and the manual, and this is Hoops by Jaleco. This is a street basketball game, and basketball is the only sports type of game that I enjoy. Something about that sport just really translates well on video game form, so basketball games I do enjoy more than the other ones. But this one not necessarily. The graphics are really bad, and the computer, even in the easiest difficulty, will kick your ass. So yeah, not that good. Then she had another one with the black sleeve and the manual, and that's John Elway's Quarterback. This one has all the NFL licenses. The animation is not that good. The only game I enjoy football-wise is Super Tecmo Ball on the NES. So no game can compare to that, and this one doesn't. But it's not as bad as this one. This is NFL Football by the good people at LJN, and this is a really, really bad football game. I'm talking horrible. Most football games play like this. You control your team and you move from left to right, and you try to hit the touchdown. This one, you play from top to bottom, or from bottom to top, and the animation is horrible. I can't figure out how the call plays. Just a really, really bad game. And when I saw that rainbow, I kind of suspected that, and they didn't disappoint. She also had their Bases Loaded, again by Jaleco. Don't like baseball games. The only baseball game I enjoyed is that Base Wars game I picked up in last video. So baseball games are not my thing. But she also had Bases Loaded 2 second season, and it's funny because I wasn't thinking of picking up Jaleco games, but right now I checked my collection and I'm missing like 4 Jaleco games, and I'll complete that series. So yeah, there you go, I guess. But again, just a regular baseball game, and I don't like baseball games. Now this one I was really excited to see in that box. This is Werewolf: The Last Warrior by Data East. I first heard about this game on the Club Nintendo magazine here in Mexico, and it was in the segment called El Cementerio de los Videojuegos, or the Video Game Cemetery. And this guy was just raving about this game. He said it was the best thing, one of those hidden gems that came out on the NES. And since then, I've been trying to track it down because I was interested in that one, in that article, and I've never seen this game, never ever. And to finally see it in that box, I got really excited. And I popped it into the NES, and it is everything that reviewers said and more. You start off as this guy that gets contacted by this, I don't know, wizard or ancient warrior. I don't know what he is. But he says that basically you have to save the world and harness the power of the werewolf. So first thing you do is that you have this boss battle. And when you defeat him, you pick up this item, and it turns you into this really badass werewolf with claws for hands. And you just go kicking ass. So really, really fun game. Totally enjoyed it. Like I said, the box purchase was worth it just because of this. So I'm really happy I finally found it and added it to the collection. Now, she also had some NES games, Super Nintendo games, I'm sorry. And the other one that piqued my interest was Vortex by Electrobrain. I know that this is one of the few games that use the Super FX chip. This is a shooter, kind of like Star Fox, and it actually looks a lot like Star Fox. Even the enemies that you shoot at look a lot like the Star Fox enemies. But it's really cool. It's really great to see 3D polygons on the Super Nintendo. And you control this robot that can transform into a plane and a tank. So I thought that was pretty cool. At first it didn't read, but after cleaning it, it reads perfectly. So really fun, I got that. Really great, I got that one. On to the sports games on the box. The rest of them were Tecmo Super Bowl. This is really cool because it kept the animations from the NES version. So whenever you throw a touchdown or they call a play, it has that animation. But it's pretty decent. She also had Super Tecmo Bowl 2 Special Edition. I was looking online and I found out that this is apparently a really rare game to find. So but it's the same as the first one on the Super Nintendo. And to complete the set, she also had Tecmo Super Bowl 3. And out of the three, this one's the better one. It has better animation, better music, it controls better, so this one's the better one. And she had Tecmo Super NBA Basketball. And I remember renting this out of a video store when I was a kid. And I enjoyed it. And I didn't realize it until I popped it into the Super Nintendo. It was the same game. This game is really, really cool. The music is awesome. The animation on the players is really cool. The play control is spot on. Just a really, really good NBA game. And like I said, I totally forgot about this one. So, when I popped it in, I was really blown away that I remembered that this game was fun. So, another really good surprise on that box. It has a lot of stickers. It used to belong to Blockbuster, so it's kind of beat up, but I'm still working on getting it clean. But all in all, a fun basketball game. And the first game I picked up was not in the box. I mentioned, like I mentioned, I picked up a game when I started looking at that Overwheels, and it's Wizardry 5, even though it kind of looks like 6, but it's 5. Developed by Capcom, and I really can't say anything about this game because I don't know how to freaking play it. I own one Wizardry game on the NES, and it was kind of like, it wasn't an RPG, it was more like, what can I compare it to? The Shadowgate. But this one, I can't figure out. I boot it up, and then it gives you an option to go to somewhere. But I choose any level, and it doesn't let me, so I can't play this game. Might have to look online on how the hell to play this game, but it was a game by Capcom, and once I figure out how to do it, maybe I'll enjoy it. But can't say anything about that one. And the last game that was in the box is NBA 2K1 for the Dreamcast. This is the Sega All-Stars edition. Sega All-Stars was basically just the Player's Choice edition for the Dreamcast. And another really fun basketball game. The only downside is that it needs 150 blocks of memory space to save. You can save your season and your roster. So basically, they were just getting people to buy more memory cards so they can sell more. Because all the Sega Sports games that I have on the Dreamcast have that annoying thing that you have to have 150 blocks. But the animation on the game is pretty cool, and it plays really, really well. So another fun game that came in that box. And like I said, Sega Dreamcast games are kind of hard to find here in Mexico, but I'm really happy I found that one. Then on to some other purchase that I had after my last video. A friend of mine wanted to get rid of his Castlevania Lord of Shadows limited edition game. I'm a huge Castlevania fan, and I was actually waiting for this game to come down in price. And right now they do have a sale on GameStop for the regular edition. The regular edition costs $30. So my friend wanted to get rid of this, and he told me that he would let it go for $30, and I was like, yeah. But he did mention that it's only 2/3 complete, and I'll explain why. It comes with the slipcase, really cool. Actually, Mr. TK Dude did an unboxing of this one, so I would suggest you watch that video. He gives more details on it, but it comes in this really cool book-like case. And you open it up, and it has the game and the manual and this art book. And the reason why it's 2/3 complete is because it also contained the soundtrack. But my friend doesn't know what he did with the soundtrack. He thinks it might still be on his CD player, or he thinks he borrowed it to a friend and he didn't give it back. But it doesn't come with the music soundtrack. But all in all, I think it was a good deal. I helped out a friend because he really needed the money. And I got a game that I was going to purchase anyway for the same amount, but it's the limited edition. So, somewhere down the road, I hope to find the soundtrack, or if he can get it back, he'll give it to me. But I'm really liking the Castlevania Lord of Shadows game. It doesn't have anything to do with Castlevania. That's its only fault. You don't start off in a castle, but it still looks pretty, and it's still fun to play. And the last purchase for this video, I got Punisher Warzone. This is way, way better. This is probably my favorite Punisher movie. It does take place 4 years after the first one, I guess. The Punisher has cemented himself as this vigilante that is taking down crime. And they do pick up elements from the Welcome Back, Frank movie that... the Welcome Back Frank comic book that came out with Agent Soap in it, and it's a really, really cool movie. The guy that plays the Punisher does a really good job. You actually believe that he's this guy that is looking for vengeance, but is also at the end of his rope. And they introduced Jigsaw, who's nothing like the comic book version, but it's still Jigsaw, and the rest of the cast does a really good job. I found it interesting that they got Newman from Seinfeld to play Micro, but one of the really cool Marvel, movies that came out. My buddy David Lee T has every single comic book movie out. He even has the rare Captain America movie on VHS. So he completely blows me out of the water as far as comic book movies go. But yeah, a good movie, and I'm working my way on getting the comic book movies that I'm missing. So yeah, that was the pickup video for this week. Like I said, it just ballooned into this huge video because of that box. But my suggestion for this video, as far as pickup goes, will have to be Werewolf: The Last Warrior. Just a really, really cool game for the NES, and like I said, I've had a lot of trouble finding it, but if you can track it down, definitely give it a try. You'd probably enjoy it too. So yeah, guys, until I make another video, this is Vargas XX78, signing off.